Oh, that's even better too, because I got a light on it. Didn't know that.
Yeah, but you're gonna be looking in that light. All right, so let's get cooking because we're
What do you
gonna
mean
start.
cooking? There ain't none of us cook around here but me.
We'll get at it.
All right, Bud Abbott.
All right, Lou.
All right, guys. 3, 2, 1. Do you know why I do that?
Yeah, you're counting down to give yourself time for
so I can know that's coming up.
Yeah, you know what's coming up.
So what do I do?
All right, guys. 1, 2, 3, and action. Start doing something, Mike.
You know what the worst part about the 1, 2, 3 in action is?
What is that?
It's Hollywood. And
Well, we're going to be in Hollywood one day, right? Well, no, we're going to make our own Hollywood. I don't think I want to go there.
I don't think I do either.
No,
I mean,
we're going to stay out of
you're
Hollywood.
more than welcome to cruise out there and do whatever it is that you've been wanting to do for a long time, but I'm...
Nothing out there, I'm afraid.
Okay.
We just want their money.
All right, guys. So now that we got all this big spillway out of it, we're going to be cooking. We don't even know what. This trip was kind of pre-planned, and then things come up just like natural life does, and you just can't avoid it. So what we're going to do is we got some bell peppers. They're nice and sweet. Got an onion. We got some cubed up or sirloin tips, basically.
Yeah.
And we're going to saute these things with all this stuff together on a little Lodge griddle that he bought today. He didn't have one, and that's how you get started in this.
Yeah.
You start out with nothing, and you just start buying, and before long, you got stuff you can't find.
Yeah. Go to Amazon. You got 2 boxes of stuff. You don't really know what you got, but you got everything.
and that's really, even in the bushcraft side of it, that's how you start. You start with nothing, really nothing.
Well, at some point you've got to get out there and do it.
And that's the initial step.
That's the initial step. You take that first step, and then you kind of learn as you go. Or you have somebody that's been doing it for a while. I'm going to teach Mike everything I know.
And it shouldn't take us long. So, guys, this video will be over in no time.
That's true.
No, in my personal opinion, I think every male that is at the age between 60 and 40 pretty much has an idea of how to go out and do things. Now, we have a lot of YouTube that will want to make things a little more complicated than it has to be, and it really isn't. It's just about coming out here and picking up little things as you go and building your big resume, so to speak, for the end.
Yeah, that's a nice analogy, big resume.
Yeah, well, that's basically what it is.
Well, you're learning as you go. So, but again, the first step, get out there and do it. If all you have is you're going to sleep in your car, which, by the way, I would advise that if you're in bear country. We're going to be sleeping in the taco things over here.
Don't advise it. I advise it to let your testosterone roll. No, I'm kidding. If you're in a bad environment.
Yeah, but rolling down where? Mine's sitting on a cliff over there.
You do know that.
In bear country.
I put you further on that side.
I noticed that. I've got me all the way over there. You got all the light over here.
I put it way over here for me so that this way, when I hear his first scream, I lightly unzip, get out of my little taco, and I make it to the truck, and I run to a signal, and I call 911.
Yeah. Well, see, he hadn't seen the sardine can that I just attached to the tree over there. Bears love that stuff. So I figure he's going to go after the sardines first. I'm going to hear him scream, because he does scream. And,
there's a few of you guys that have camped with me, and you'll know that I snore so loud, there ain't going to be no bear 6 miles from here.
That's true, yeah.
But we're going to get started cooking, and I'm going to let Terrence kind of, if he would, he has been to Peru. You've been to a lot of places, and things are different everywhere that we go. It's not just, we're out in the middle of Ohio or we're out in the middle of here, they're different. So I'm going to kind of let him get you started in where he's at, and I want to be very careful how I say it, because he knows more than you would think that he does. He's not illiterate when it comes to the outdoors. He's got a lot. But
why is he smiling when he says this? What's up with the grinning?
Well, I'm trying to make this thing sound like you're a genius, but I mean,
it don't sound that way.
No,
So
seriously.
I've been out of this for a very long time. Well, you go to work, you start life.
That's it.
I don't, didn't have the luxury of going camping or anything because I was working all the time.
And
all of us.
I think all of us, anybody watching this or anybody that stumbles across it is going to know there comes a time that we don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few people, they're dedicated. They're truly dedicated. No job, no work, no lifestyle is going to interfere with what they're doing, and power to you. I mean, really, because I wish that, at times, but I would have missed out on a wonderful wife, a great child. I would have missed out on a lot of those things. So I'm not really pushing against it.
I think it's in all of our, if you're a man, it's in your blood. Do you hear the wolves right now? Do you hear that?
You'll hear coyotes up here a lot. You'll hear them real bad about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Foxes too.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know how much YouTube that you watch or...
I watch a lot.
Well, with the outdoor bushcraft women, you will be surprised at the women that get out and do things that we as young men were like, we never seen that, but they were there then too. But they're going out and doing a lot of stuff. So it's not just us men, and some women may have wanted to go out and do it as well.
That's true. And I didn't know a lot of ladies that enjoyed this type of thing when I was younger, but now, they're all over the place. So it's really something anyone and everyone can enjoy. You just need to get out there and do it. Take that first step, get out there, and you're going to enjoy yourself.
And that's the first step.
Yeah.
And later you're going to see some videos coming from me because I know a lot of you guys have been concerned, and I'm going to give him kudos for now. In the beginning, he tried to convince me things wasn't as bad as they was. I avoided him. He avoided me at the point. And then all of a sudden, I got to a point that I realized that, yes, it's psychological, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do a video completely about that and give you the guys the heads up about how it can affect anyone, because I was the last person that I thought any of this would ever be able to affect me.
I was shocked. Honestly.
I didn't know that it could happen to anybody like that. And man, it was just like...
Well, it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how macho you are, it doesn't matter how manly you are. These things can get you too. And just something can affect all of us.
And I think every male, and I think women, they go through it as well.
Well, women go through it more than we do.
Yeah, I would say so. One, they're doubled because they got to put up with us.
And kids.
Yeah, but there's the thing. But we'll talk about that in another video, and it may even come up real soon while we're out here and talk about it. But I'll give him a little fist bump here. That he stayed with me and it didn't let me just completely fall off.
He can cook.
Well, I don't blame him. I can cook. Now, biscuits,
man.
Donnie Pavellini.
He makes some good biscuits.
Donnie Pavellini is going to say, you can't make good biscuits. Me.
Really?
Yeah, because I got down there and we got to talking.
Yeah.
And I burned the biscuits. And when you burn the biscuits,
man,
now he ate them.
Yeah.
He said, I don't mind them a little crunchy.
I wouldn't have eaten them. No.
But these weren't crunchy. These right here, the charcoal on them was...
Did you use them for hunting, like when you could take a...
I'm going to tell you that you could have done some charcoal painting for 6 years. Some of the biggest
ones. I'm glad I wasn't there.
But now that we've rambled on to several different things, I'm going to get you to kind of talk into the camera there, and maybe I'll cut up some of this stuff right here and let them tell you what it is, because I think there's a lot of people, men and women, and that are in our age group. We're afraid to go out as we start getting older by ourselves, and the family is afraid for us to go out, and he has a loving family, and I know when I go now, my wife even says, she said, are you going with somebody? Because normally you guys know, you go back as far as Crash Bushcraft, I was all over the place by myself for 3 to 5 days, just out there, and now that I've gotten older, one slip, trip, and fall.
Well, it's something you have to think about. You never think about it when you're young, But I don't know how many videos I've seen where an older fella goes out,
Yes.
has a heart attack. That can happen at any time.
I
We
mean,
don't exert ourselves as much as
especially
we
what
used
they
to.
call stents, where they
Stents,
have,
yeah.
they have to put those in. There's one gentleman I know that will watch this, and I'll give him a shout out with it.
Yeah.
And plain old Chuck,
Yeah.
he's had a lot of things, but this man still goes out and he
Well,
still does stuff, and he does them solo, but he's kind of like around a camp area,
Yeah.
But
Well, when I first started this, I would just take trips in the truck. I'd go up in the Colorado wilderness,
Yeah.
I'd look around. Didn't get too far from the truck, but I was mindful that, hey, at any time, because
Just like that.
at any time, it doesn't matter how, big you are. It doesn't matter really how healthy you are, honestly. When you get our age, things happen.
And if you're wondering what age group we're talking about, I'm 51, he's 73.
I'm 38.
Now, you're 56, right?
56, yeah.
56.
Yeah.
So 51 and 56. And he's in pretty good health to be 56.
Yeah.
He's not, he could go out and do as much. And he's starting to want to do more of that. He's starting to want to get out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage every age group to get out and go and do this type of stuff, because it's not something that you have to be going off to some school to learn everything that there is.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that as time goes by, you start picking up, and you can get a lot of good information from YouTube.
Well, sure.
You can
that's
get
where
some
I've gotten
bad
all-
information too.
Yeah. Kind of have to cull through it, though. Remember the trout?
Yes.
Went trout fishing. Never done it. Got me some waders. Didn't get the right waders, but now I know what to look for.
But the good news is I may have a free pair of waders,
That's
so
true.
that's a positive.
And the better than that, I caught my largest trout just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it had to be at least 6 inches.
And last year, around a little bit before this time, it was really about June, he was really pushing me, wanting to go trout fishing and stuff and get out and do this. And we'll talk about that, but when he caught that, I know Terrence. So the excitement that he probably had on his face was ecstatic. But we learned something just in Tellico Plains when we went up there 2 weekends ago.
It sure did.
That we had thought, because it was raining, I thought, well, they probably ain't gonna be much trout. The young man had about 4-pounder maybe.
Oh God, yes.
Easily.
It was nice,
a nice trout walking up the road. And I said, man, when'd you catch it? He said, after it started raining. And what did he say?
Yeah, well, everything starts falling in. They get very active. And we had just started discussing that how it probably wouldn't be a good thing to go out there trying to fish right now, because we were just
we
wrong.
find out
Yeah.
this man's sitting here walking with what we're wanting to put on a stick
nice
and
one,
roast over a fire,
He
but
was nice.
yet he's cruising through with one.
Yeah.
And it had rained pretty good. It wasn't a downpour, but the water had
Well, the
started
water was
moving.
quick. It was moving a lot. Yeah.
It had, I would say, 4 inches, 3 inches
I'd say
of
so,
movement off of it, which was pretty rough, As we came back from Donnelly Cabin, when we went up, it was just a nice little flowing stream. As we came back down, if it had stayed at that raining part for another 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah. We wouldn't be crossing it.
We could have crossed it, but we would have needed those waders.
Yeah, there we go.
But that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is you're starting to get back into it. I'm starting to really get back into it, because if you've really followed me over 15 years pretty much, and especially if you're one of the ones that followed back when the channel was bigger and really had more into it and doing a lot, you'll start seeing more of that, because that's my goal. This is my passion. I don't teach people 47 different knots one after another, because to me that's just useless information to be pushing out to someone, because you get here and you go to tie up something and you've heard so much information, it's overload, and you can't even figure it out. Just figure a couple of good knots that makes it easy to put up and take down and leave it alone. Once you get into that, knowing 4 to 5 different ways to get fire is an important thing. Whether it be a blowtorch, fire is fire. I don't care how you get it. Know how the combustion part works and you can get it. Know the components that you need.
We're going to try different ways of doing it, because I just want to do it. But Yeah,
Well, tonight we needed a fire, and we got a beautiful coal sitting over there.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to start cooking on this stuff here in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an important thing to be able to know that coals for cooking is what you want.
Yeah.
You don't want flame, you know, and then you want flame for heat. You know.
That's something I learned, the Dutch oven. I never quite understood that, but it makes a lot of sense. You burn everything down and you get those coals and put it on top to make yourself an oven.
Right. And
so you got on the bottom
the bottom and top. So you become a oven, which is why it's called Dutch oven.
Dutch oven, yeah.
You know, but a lot of people, I've seen them throw those things over a blazing fire and want to know why the top is so beautiful on their casserole, but the bottom is blacker than the biscuits I made. Yeah. And that's why, you know, learning those things. And it takes...
Well, you got to do it. You got to do it. And it helps to have somebody that's done it before. You know, quite honestly, normally it's your dad, you know, he takes his kid out and you can have a good time. Some of us didn't have that, but we still want to do it. Or some of us did it and it's been 40 years like myself, and, you know, you forget things, you know, you just don't think about those things.
When I first got back, and going back to where you're at now, when I first got back in this, from about 20 to 32, 33, it was about corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
It was about getting the house paid, getting the car notes paid. Yeah. It was about putting people, you know, the job. Yeah. That's what it was about. I hit about 32, 33, and I said, man, I haven't hunted in 5-6 years.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe take a weekend trip up to Cohutta, you know, as a vacation. And if you ain't scouted Cohutta, you might as well have just went to the supermarket and bought a big old lamb chop or something and come back and cook it.
They're a lot cheaper, too.
Yeah, a lot cheaper, because you can put some money in it. And you'll see in some videos coming up, if we have time, Terrence has a very nice outfit now. I mean, for his bow. I mean, he's really put... You know, he's got a good setup.
I think so, yeah.
You know, you'll get to see some of that there. And, you know, there's a very good possibility in these videos coming up, you're probably not going to see any deer going out of here in our trucks. I mean, the reason I say that, we don't know the area, and I know this area, but I don't know this time of the year. I've not scouted it.
But, you know, it was just the other day we did see the 4 deer. I mean, just kind of walking up on them, and there they were, you know, 4 deer.
And this area is not really pushed for hunting, because I noticed the tracks when we were coming in. Yeah. There was not a lot of tracks.
No, well, hunters don't come up here too often.
Yeah. We're about 8.5 miles. Well, it's about 7 where we're at into the national forest.
Okay.
But we're on the top of it, so we got a lot of flats that are down that way. Then we've got a lot that drop down. So
it is a little puzzling to me, though, why there's not more hunters up here. I don't want to give away our deer or our little secret here or anything, but there's not a lot of hunters up here, and we've seen deer.
One of the reasons is most of your hunters are hunting food plots now. In this area. I don't know about everywhere else. I don't know what the laws are, but they've got land that they're hunting food plots. They're, you know, I got one friend that maxes out his 12 deer every year, and sometimes 3 to 4 in a day. But he's hunting basically what he has harvested for a food plot. So now that they've gotten a lot of more people are going out. But the other thing is exactly what you said. Our age group ain't seeing a lot, and nothing against millennials or anything of that age group. Yeah, they're off in corporate America right now.
Yeah, and that's very true. I work with a lot of younger people. I work from anywhere from 20 years old to right around 30 something. So I just work with a lot of those type of people in this IT. And yeah, I don't even talk to them about this. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just not interested at all.
And
I
we
get
weren't.
that.
We
I
were
get that.
semi-interested, but we didn't have time for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's where they're at. And one day they'll be right here going like,
Yeah.
I can't believe there's nobody up here.
Yeah.
And we're going like, I wish we could.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm not.
But, well, I probably
I'm going to get
will
out there
be.
one way or another. I'll take my wheelchair and roll out there.
Well, by then, we can just hover over here.
Well, we're going to die of starvation anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, because I ain't cooked nothing, have I?
No, not at all. Remember the whole cooking thing?
Yeah, well, we're going to cook something, I promise you. But
Yeah.
this is exciting for me to have somebody that knows enough to survive. I honestly, I know him well enough that he's a survivor, period. Now, he may have some rough nights.
I'd make it out of here.
You know, and we're not in a major area to where you would really, I mean, within 2.5, 3 hours of walking, as long as you don't follow your right side and keep walking,
Yeah,
in,
keep
circles,
walking in
you're
circles,
going to be
yeah.
out of here or within some helpful range.
Yeah. And you know, I've got a compass, I've got a few things, rangefinder, stuff like that, and you can use that to get out of the woods if you know how to do it. And that's what we're going to do, be exploring at some point. You know,
Right.
hey, how do you use a compass?
And,
I mean,
and
you know, it's something that
one
everyone
of the
needs to know.
things that I will teach you with a compass is, I'm not going to confuse you, and I'm not going to confuse you. There's parts of a compass that will get you out, and there's part of it that will confuse you so much that you can't even you just lose your control. And that's what I've learned is I guess the hard knock way of doing it, so to speak, is because I don't just sit down there and, you know, I'm doing all this 900 different things.
Yeah.
A compass, if you set it when you leave it, you can get out.
Yeah.
And I will show you that. I mean, you may be 15, 20 yards from where you started.
Yeah.
And generally that's just because you were lazy and you seen a better trap, but you knew you was where you was at. Yeah. But there is times that you need to know all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you know, because leaving from point A and going to point B is different than leaving from point A and just running around and coming back to point A.
Yeah.
But when you're just out scouting around, point A is point A.
We kind of had that experience the other night, or
Right.
last week, matter of fact.
2 weeks ago.
Mike got us lost. He had no idea where we were at.
There is no such thing as lost, because lost, we wouldn't be home now. And
That's
no
true.
one came and got us. We got back out.
We got back out, yeah.
So
After we called the wife and said, we're lost.
No, he called his wife and said he was lost. I called my wife and said, look, Lewis has got us onto a different path, and me being Clark, I'm going to get us out of here,
Okay.
but I'm going to let him explore.
Yeah.
And he's writing stuff in his journal, and he's looking at mushrooms,
Yeah.
and he's trying to figure out which one will kill him, so he don't have to explain why he got lost.
I was writing it, we're lost. But we made it out.
But we did. We got up here in a road that I have only been maybe, an eighth of a mile,
Yeah.
maybe a quarter of a mile walking down.
Yeah.
And because the gate's always been closed. Well, it was open.
It was open,
and
buddy. Hey.
we went down in it about 2 miles, you know. And when I say a road, I'm talking about, it was, I mean,
That's being
you
very
could
liberal.
stick your
Road.
tongue out and lick the trees as we were going by on each side in a little small Ford Explorer,
Yeah.
you know. And we went down, and he had made an observation. He said, man, this looks like a good hunting spot. I would like to camp right here.
Yeah.
And we weren't going to camp. We were just out exploring. We were squirrel
We were trying
hunting, and
to
then
figure
we
out where
ended
to
up driving.
Yeah.
And we got there, and we just kind of sporadically looking at certain stuff, you know, that was out there. And then all of a sudden, I was like, he said, let's go and look right here. And I said, let's go down just a little bit further, because I said, this is, and then we did. And then it started going down like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then we started going across creek, and his little Explorer has a cargo
Thing on the back.
on the back of it.
And I've got a lot of stuff in that. 10 gallons of gas?
Yeah, and
Which
we
I'm-
needed that gas because we did. I mean, we were 4:00 was when we left my house.
Yeah.
And it was 12:18 when I got back to my house, which is 15-minute drive from where we're the top of this place up here.
Yeah.
About a 40-minute drive. So for 4 hours we were riding down in this,
We were lost.
and we were not lost.
Okay.
You were lost.
Okay.
I was in
We
Chattooga
had gone
County.
down. I don't know what the angle was, but I told Mike when we ain't getting back up there.
And
no
I
way.
actually
Well, we
told
did.
him
We did.
that no. Why did I sit here and pull my ring off? The wife will be up here in a minute.
Yeah.
That thing's got like tracking.
She's got a
system.
Homer thing on.
It's got
she's
tracking in
you right.
it.
She knows it fell off.
What is going? Oh, it's back on. Okay.
Yeah, no, she's safe.
But
Put the shotgun back in the closet.
yeah, and but we got down there. But this is the wild thing. I mean, and we should have filmed this adventure. I mean, he said it, I said it later. It would have been, you guys would have loved this.
It was epic. I mean, it was great. Yeah.
We got down there and we finally got to some cut fields, woods, but they had kept the roadways cut with a tractor.
Yeah.
And a bush
Very
hog.
nice. We found a well.
Yeah, we found a well down there that they were using because the chain was still good.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
we cruised down through there, and Terrence goes, "Oh man, there's a sign right there." And we were thinking,
Yeah.
forestry sign with pamphlets or something like.
Yeah.
No, it was a trailer.
We were always talking about McDonald's.
Yeah.
Fish sandwiches. We're gonna get us a fish sandwich.
And all he talks about, you got to know this story. His wife loves to eat fish sandwiches. I love fish sandwiches.
Trump sandwiches, what we call them.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I ain't giving $8 for such a small sandwich.
Dadgum, that was expensive fish sandwich.
But I guarantee you, there was one biscuit and a piece of ham. He guarded that thing like it was the last meal.
We had breakfast that morning. He didn't eat his piece of ham, and I had a biscuit.
I ate the ham. I just didn't eat all of it.
And he sees that we're lost, and he's wanting his ham back. I said, "Hey, you're not getting your ham back, dude." We were so okay.
But it was his biscuit and it was my ham.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gave it away.
But we got down there and we came across three little, when I say trailers, they were RV trailers.
Yeah, they were. It was pretty nice.
You know, and they were kind of pushed down it. It was a hunting lodge reserve, so to speak. So we follow, and I'm thinking maybe we'll get down here and there won't be a gate. And what was they?
There was a big gate down there.
And you couldn't even go around it.
No, and I was wanting to go through it.
Yeah. Well, we had the idea, so we could shoot the lock off.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, that's damaging somebody else's property. And I thought, I was calling the law on us.
He was calling 911 on us.
I thought, I know
Call
where
the
we're
police.
at. We're in Gore Subligna
That's
Road.
the last people I want to see.
I didn't think this little Bronco was going to make it back up that thing. And I was thinking,
well, I didn't either.
We're on a national highway.
Yeah.
But
I just figured I'd rather spend the night in the woods, though, than go to the hoochie.
Well, I'd much rather spend the night in the woods than be in the penny, too. But, I mean, I was thinking more along the lines of, like, just call 911. They'll understand. Maybe somebody will come out here. And they may say just if you got some way of cutting the lock off of it, cut it off and get the address to the person and replace their lock for them. But the thing about it is this is my opinion. Forestry road should not be opened up if it is going to lead to private land.
Correct.
I mean,
because we
were not trespassing, but yes, we ended up trespassing because we followed the road that we were on, and ended up on someone's personal property.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
so if any of you guys are watching this and wanting to know whose Ford Explorer it was Terrence Roberts. He lives in Camden,
I bet
Georgia.
they got some good shots. They got some good shots, but we did not shoot your lock off.
We did not shoot the lock off.
I wanted to shoot the lock off. I said, Mike, this don't make any sense. We're shooting that lock off. We will find the guy and buy him a new lock.
But instead, we had an epic adventure coming back out.
Turned around, yeah.
I think I walked about half of that trip, which was very good for me because it got me active, from where I've been just soiled up and not doing anything.
Yeah, well, you did something then.
But
we made it out. Good thing. And then I said, Mike, why didn't you film this? This was like, this was a great thing.
Sometimes
Mr. Camera forgot the camera.
Sometimes filming fun is good for you guys, and it's hard for you don't get your enjoyment out of it. But I do plan on doing more. I think that between our wives, we're going to be able to be allowed to go and do certain things, but we're not going to be an every weekend thing because
You use the wrong terminology all the time.
what I do.
We're allowed to go. I mean, that just don't sound right.
I'm just going to tell you right now, any
might be
man
the
that
truth,
says that
but-
he is not is really just,
We could make it sound better.
okay. You know, we're not going to treat our wives by not being out in the woods every weekend.
there
We're
you
going to
go.
end up coming out here when we choose to, but we'll still give them. That just, to me, that just sounds, you know, our wives will watch this.
Sounds kind of fake, doesn't it?
I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not whipped, but I know where my bread and butter comes from, and I know that it's a lot cheaper to stay than it is to leave, and it's a whole lot cheaper to stay than get thrown out.
I'm pleading innocent to all charges. I'm not going to talk about this because you're right. Fabi's going to watch this. What was that?
As a big old bug.
Something. Okay. Well,
Is there anything else we can knock off this table?
no. I wish we'd start cooking though. I'm getting kind
What
of
do you
hungry.
want to cook? I mean, you
We only got what? How many pounds of meat we got, dude?
got about 2 pounds there.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we
and
don't
there's
have to
2 of
cook
us.
it. We don't have to cook it.
We're going to cook it. I mean, I don't
Well,
care
I can
if we...
eat. There ain't no. I can
Whatever's
eat.
left over goes under your hammock.
I ain't going under my hammock. It's going with the sardines under his hammock.
But yeah, I'm fixing to get started cooking. So if there's anything you'd like to tell these fine folks,
Yeah, I guess the
Talk
moral of
to
the
'em
story, hey, get out there and start doing it. You know, you can prepare, buy all the gadgets in the world, but in the end, just get out there and start doing it. And it's good if you have a buddy to go do it with, but if you don't, you know, hey, maybe you can join Mike and I one time.
hey,
do
that's
that.
something other that I have really been wanting to do.
What?
Is go out and visit some of these folks.
Yeah, I think
and
that would
and
be,
do a camping trip with them.
I think that would be cool. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that we could do that with.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, I there's a lot of folks that I go out with anyway, and I camp with a lot of folks, Brian and Donnie and a lot of folks at the rendezvous and stuff. Which, if there's any of y'all interested in that, Norton. Oh God, what is it? Morton, Mississippi rendezvous. It's going to be active again this year, but I think they're moving it to December, and maybe if I get more information on
What
that.
exactly is it? Oh, that's where they all get together and camp.
Yeah. And
Oh, okay, you're telling
if
me
you've
about that.
never been to a run, you know, there's a lot of them here in Georgia. Georgia is full of a lot of bushcraft communities. Tennessee is too, Kentucky, Ohio, but there's a lot of that stuff that's out there that you can get out there and enjoy like-minded people.
Yeah.
And really, you'll start seeing this later on, Terrence. Getting jalapeno. Try one of them orange ones right there.
This doesn't taste like cornbread though.
Well, I mean, you got it from Walmart.
That's
But
good.
a lot of these folks that I've met through YouTube, they're wonderful people. I mean, they're all pretty much in the same category as what we're in. And the one thing that I like about most of it is they're not about showing off. A lot of them, they're more about let's have fun.
Yeah, that's what I want. I just want to have fun, and I just enjoy this type of. I mean, one of the best things you can do, and just to get a taste of it, is something that my wife Fabiana, because of the pandemic, there's not a lot we could do. So we would simply start going out to the woods, and we'd take some Kentucky Fried Chicken or something, and we'd set up a little picnic table, and we'd have Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it was so peaceful out there. Yeah, I mean, it's just very peaceful, and it's almost like you belong there. It's very difficult for me to explain because I try to explain to my wife why I like this so much, and I just think it's part of our DNA. You know, it's like going home.
You know, last year, Fabi started going with you out, and Mattia started going out there with you as well.
Yeah.
And I would watch some of the little. She does TikTok. And she was putting a lot of that on there on TikTok.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you know, what is her channel again?
Hawaii.
Yeah, Fawai. Fawai.
something like that.
Yeah. If you get an opportunity, go check it out on TikTok.
She's a fabulous cook. She went to the culinary school there in Peru while we were waiting on her visa and everything to come through. And but she's a fabulous cook, and she's got like 20,000 followers in English and 30,000 in Spanish. It's just a lot of followers. She knows what she's doing.
She's very good at it, and the food that she cooks, it's a lot of it is cookies and decorating.
Right
and
now,
things.
a lot of it's cookies and decorating. She's into that right now, into the painting and all of that.
And she's got, what else? You got a 3D printer, don't you?
Oh, I got a 3D printer. She makes her own cookie cutters.
Yeah.
And sells those on her channel and shows you how to use them and does some wonderful decorations. I love eating the cookies.
He told me that last year.
Yeah.
There was to give you a history of Terrence and I, it goes back, about 19 years almost now.
19 or so years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time ago. You were a lot thinner back then.
Yeah, I was a lot prettier too. And I had hair back then too, if you
He had
remember.
hair.
But he and I worked together, and he found Bobby. She was in Peru.
Yeah, she was in Peru.
And we worked out a deal when he first came to work for me, which it took a lot to get, because the company that we were working for, they weren't into letting somebody just take off and be gone for 3 to 5 weeks,
I was looking for something to come, and I kind of found the situation where I said, Mike, this is what I want to do. This is what
and his talent, not
about talent.
You had talent. Was something that I was needing for my business, or the store that I was running for the business. It was something that I needed, and I went to the regional director and I got it. And then all of a sudden, he got a store. Then he left and went to work at several other people or other places. Mm-hmm. And like 17 years went by.
Yeah.
And, it's just gone, Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, one day he hit me on Facebook, I believe is what it was.
I guess. I don't remember.
It was something
like that, yeah.
And
you just popped up, or I saw you. And I said, well, I know him.
And we got back, and then we got to talking, and we started carrying on like we did then.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are, a year and a half, 2 years later, out here in the middle of the woods enjoying. We grew up the same. We don't have to go into all of it, but we have the same background of growing up, so to speak. And that was probably what drew us. And then, there's certain things that he really wanted to start learning. Going out and doing it, because he remembers being 15, 16.
Oh, yeah.
And that was what he wanted. And here we are, and of course now, we're about a year and a half. We lost about a year from whatever, that I'll talk about later. But we could have been doing more of this. And I think
we are now, so that's good.
Yeah, here we are. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Because I know we are. And it gives you something other. And I know you're going to have to block off about an hour on this video, probably 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But I encourage you, if you're skipping through it, watch it all the way through. Because there'll be a lot of these little things and little tests and things that we'll be kind of doing. But I think for me, it will help me. And I'm not saying that Terrence doesn't know everything that he needs to know, but there's things that I've learned over the years, and some things that I had to learn, that I didn't know, that I can teach him. And when you see someone being able to teach someone something else and help them, because I don't believe in confusing you with my ego. And a lot of times that's what happens in this teaching outdoor skills, is we try to boost our ego and we confuse the students, I'm not saying you're a student, but we confuse the people we're trying to help because we're trying to portray somebody that we're not. Yeah. It's not rocket science. Yeah.
It's been 35, 40 years since I've done this type of thing. So you forget a lot of things that you once knew, back then. Hunting and things like it comes back to you, but it's often good to have somebody that's been doing it for a lot of years and has that experience that you can kind of draw off of. And that's all this is. I mean, I love getting out here. I know Mike is very knowledgeable about this, except the bear part. So,
I just know that if it's a black bear, we're going to fight if he's trying to eat me.
I got the whole sardine thing off of YouTube. You just nail it under their can. I mean,
But there's one thing that they like better.
No, it isn't. They love sardines, man.
They like blackberries.
Blackberries?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have no blackberries.
Oh, you didn't pick none up at Walmart, but I did.
Oh, you did?
Our bears around here are more vegetarian, so to speak.
I like that.
They are.
That sounds like me with my wife.
Yeah.
She had asked me, are snakes? I said, no, snakes. It would be wintertime. I said, snakes don't come out in the wintertime. It'd be summertime. She'd ask me, hey, you snakes around here? They don't come out in summertime.
Yeah. No, they. The one reason is because we just don't have a lot of. They will eat meat in this area. They will catch coyotes and foxes and rabbits and things like that. But the majority of them around here, they're more, and it's tough on them in the wintertime when it's deep winter. That's when you're more likely going to get an opportunity to be attacked by one.
Yeah.
If you have all this stuff just laying out when you go to bed at night, more than likely they're just going to eat this stuff right here and thank you for the meal and leave you a couple of droppings. And if you're lucky, you got a video. But if I'm real lucky, I got a bear attack on a video.
As long as it's attacking you, that's cool with me.
No. I can't film it and be attacked.
I'll film it. I'll do the filming. I'll learn real damn quick.
But we're going to cut this video right here out here in just a minute because it's kind of getting a little lengthy. And we don't want to run them off too quick.
Like an hour or so.
It's probably about
most people want about 5 or 15 minutes.
I know. And
I think
I'm that way. I mean, I really like about a 5 or 15 minute video.
Yeah.
But sometimes when two people are talking, people become nosy and they want to know what they're talking about. And they'll stick around a little bit longer.
I call it becoming Mikey.
Yeah.
Nosy.
Now, my wife
there is something swooping down here, dude.
Well, I mean, you're in the woods. I mean, what do you expect? We're about 6.5, 7, maybe 8 miles about where we're at. About 6.5 right here.
Yeah.
Deep into the forestry on the very top. I mean, there's not another house within 20 miles from us that I know of.
Well, we met some other campers up here too. There's some people camping down below us.
They're about 3 miles back.
Yeah. Well, that's where I opened.
That's where we were going to be camping at. I know.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. There's this one place up in Cohutta that I hope we get to camp out. Beautiful place, beautiful stream down below it. Just a perfect spot, but you got to get up there and get it.
My encouragement is if you're willing, and I am, because this is going to end up being a double channel.
Channel? Yeah.
Kind of, if he decides to make his own, or at least
you never know.
here,
I'm just in it for the fun right now.
And I am, but I want to go out and do more adventurous areas. Now, this right here, I mean, I can come up here and film for years and never let you see half of it, and it's just a forestry land. But I'd like to get up into Cohutta, some Tellico Plains. And do some more of that. Go to the land between the lakes up in Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, see, now you're talking, because I've been watching these great videos about going up north, Alaska.
Yes.
Seriously, that would be a really great trip, and we can do that. And
the biggest thing is if you leave your comments, if there's something that you like in a video, let us know that, because that helps us weed out certain things,
Well, yeah, basically I'm starting from scratch. So anything that you want to know, we could definitely cover that, and I would learn it, and you would learn it, and Mike enjoys teaching it. So
that's probably one of the biggest things for me is I, even in my career of managing and stuff, there was an old saying that everybody says it, especially with the last company or one of the bigger companies I worked with. If you get fired by Mike Ware, you're pretty much a piece of crap.
I heard that, yeah.
Because I will get to your level.
Yeah.
because I want someone to succeed at whatever it is they're doing. And I may know a different way than what I teach someone, but we don't all learn the same way. And if you have just one way of doing it, you drill sergeant it into them, then you scare a lot of folks away. And there's too much fun out here. I mean, this.
Oh yeah, I'm in it for the fun. We're going to have fun.
And the comedy part of it.
What comedy part?
Well, when I
hadn't heard you tell the first joke.
I ain't told any jokes.
You think I'm kidding about the sardines, don't you?
I don't care if you are or
not.
not.
I'm not kidding about those sardines. I got one can.
The first thing is whenever I get up in the middle of the night and I start smelling sardines, I'm going to eat them. I mean, that's
even better.
You know, if you see me sitting over here with a light on and I'm eating sardines and crackers, there goes your little plan.
Hot sauce.
And as I sling the can over there to where you're at.
My goodness.
But
we're going to have to see a bear at some point. That's all we talk about is bears every time we come out in the woods.
I've got video of several of them, and I'll get them out right here where we're at.
That's great.
Where you're at right now, if you walk straight down, right here where we're at, and just, I mean, really just stay straight.
Take the path right there?
Yeah, just stay straight. Never, you'll end up where we were at 2 weeks ago at that gate.
I'll be darned.
I mean, because remember I told you there's only one water source that runs through here, and there's several runoffs, but there's only one water source that runs the spring, and it runs right down through there. Remember where I had stopped and waited on you for 20 minutes to catch up? Now, it was about a 30-second wait, but where I stopped at up here right before we got to that first campground,
we
take that little road down,
your hands on your hips and everything. Okay.
Mario
Mario
dancing to I don't even know. I think it was Tom Petty.
Okay. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't dancing when you showed up. The song had done went off.
No, I saw you dancing. It was traumatic for me. I don't ever want to see that again.
I'd be honest with you. If they go back and watch some of my old videos, they'll see a lot of dancing on them.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
But that's where we were at.
Really?
Yeah, if you drop
Well, I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah.
But I don't know where that road to the right instead of us going left was probably where we needed to go. Follow it back out that way, and it would have came back out.
Yeah.
But that road looked rough, so we took the path of less resistance, and we went.
It didn't look rough to me.
Well, I mean, it did to me.
Hey, but what's really cool that we haven't told you is there was actually a murder up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Devil worshippers. I mean, it's got the whole gamut of things. LSD. All kind of cool stuff.
They
just down the street.
It's about 4 miles down this road.
I'd like to go out and see the castle.
I can take you out by the castle. What's left of it? A friend of mine from North Carolina, Freedom Bushcraft, he come down here and I took him out there and he tried to do he does ghost hunting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he got some whatever. And I know he'll eventually watch this and he'll know. I don't believe in.
You don't believe in ghosts?
It's not that I don't believe in ghosts. I just don't believe in all of that stuff, with the machine and stuff, because I don't know enough about it.
So.
I just don't know enough about it to know it. And Alan, I mean, you and I have talked about it, but I do believe that these men were no more devil worshippers.
No, I don't. After hearing the story, I don't think they were devil worshippers.
They were basically just two guys that was fed up with government work and government life, and they wanted to just move to the woods and build their own house, and they decided to go with the castle. Whether they not, and I can't make a decision. I can't ask.
I don't think that. After you look into it, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it happened in 1982, 84, somewhere right along in there.
Well, I mean, the whole devil worshiping. They had gargoyles, and that's you're in the Bible Belt. Bible Belt, you see a gargoyle, well, that ain't good.
and really, when you look at the gargoyle aspect of it, they're there to ward off evil. That's what they were used for, to guard.
Those things are evil.
Yeah, well, they look evil.
Every movie I've seen, those things are
I
evil.
I ain't never seen, but when you look into them, and I may be completely wrong about that, but it's basically called Castle in the Woods. You can look it up on what is that? Mother Earth magazine in about 1980 edition. You can just type that in.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah.
It'll pull it up. And they give you, Charles Schultz, I think was his name. He gives you the complete of why they moved here from Ohio, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. We're up here. I've camped not even 300 yards from it. If you go back and look at some of my older videos and you see where I made one of the wiki ups, you know, I think it's even on this channel here. That's where I was at, you know, and I've never seen anything. I've had people, I had, 20 or 30 people walking through the woods at one night.
Yeah.
And just seen flashlights coming down through the woods, and they seen my fire. So they were coming to it, and I'm a little spooked now, you know, because like...
Now you're a believer, huh?
Yeah, you know, this is a lot of candles going off here, you know, flashlights, and they wanted to know where it was at, and I said, it's just right there, maybe 100 yards, 300 yards away, and they go, we've been here since, I want to say 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like 2:30 in the morning.
They were lost.
They were looking for this thing, and they never went more than 100, no, not even, they never went more than 50 acres wandering around out there in the dark. Well, and I told them where it was at, and they said, you ever seen anything? I said, no.
Oh, you should have played it up, man. You should have played it up.
Because just as soon as I played it up, I guarantee you it would have happened.
Well, we're going to be in the paper, too.
Well, probably.
Yeah. Two guys starved to death.
Yeah. Well, we ain't starving. I mean, the meat is cooking right now.
Is it?
It's slow cooking.
That's a slow cook.
Well, it's going to be.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you watching us. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you got something other out of our little back and forth. Yeah. But it is something other that will help me to get to my personal, because I'm a firm believer. If I can teach you and teach some other people, not just you, but other people, then I know that my skill is where I believe it's at.
Yeah.
But if I can't teach anyone, then I'm no better.
Well, that's in anything. You know, that's in anything. If you can teach someone how to do it, you know how to do it. And that's a good way to learn it, too.
And to me, you know, I've read every book in the world.
Yeah.
And I've tested just about every bit of it. And I don't really get into a lot of it because I didn't have the time. But I'm going to make...
Every time I went to the bathroom with the company we were working for, there was a book there. And I said, well, what is this? Every time there was this book, How to Survive in the Wilderness.
But, I mean, that's how you learn things, because...
You got to read, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and you learn it, and then you go and test it.
Yeah.
And if it works, then it's good information. If it doesn't work for you, it's not saying it's bad information. It just, you don't have the skill level to do it that way. So you find another book, and, that was so much easier.
Well, now you can watch a video, too. I mean, I remember when I first started doing the bow and arrow, I mean, that thing travels at what? 30
Yours
feet
is
per second?
340 to 360 feet per second.
You've got to try new things. And I was trying to explain that to Mike. I said, Mike, okay, I've hit the target dead on a couple of times. Hold the damn watermelon on your head just for a second.
Wasn't going to happen. I mean, because...
Well, somebody did it with an apple. I mean, we were doing a watermelon.
You're not William Tell. You're far from William Tell, I can promise you. Now, he going to hit something because it's got to come to a stop eventually.
Well, yeah, I mean, but, mistakes happen.
The one thing, like with archery, he had shot,
that was funny.
You had shot years ago.
17 years old, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and was hitting pretty good.
Oh, it was good.
And then all of a sudden you get back into it. And I tell people this all the time, and Terrence was a perfect example.
Yeah. Well,
when we got there and we got his bow set up, we set up what we could. And then without having a press, you know, we had to take it and get it set up, you know, at another place to get other things set on it. And he's got about, well, I'm not even going to say because Bobby might be listening.
No, she's already added it up. She's already added it up. Can you believe that?
You've probably, I would say altogether, you've got it around $1,500 close to it.
Man, I'm not admitting that now. She's going to watch this
She's
thing.
got $330 and all of it. I mean, no. But
are we talking about the Henry, the 30-30? We're not talking about the Henry yet, are we?
No, we ain't even got to that.
See, she don't know anything about that. Well, she does now.
All right, guys. There's not going to be any more videos with Terrence.
That's a sweet Henry, though. It's a 30-30. Holy cow,
somewhere around Canton, Georgia, be looking for the obituaries.
We're going to cut this part out.
Yeah.
That ain't going to be in
I don't edit nothing.
But yeah, it's,
No.
I mean, the bottom line is it's kind of an expensive
it is
affair.
But I bought my bow in 2002, I think.
Yeah.
I shoot 400 feet per second if it's setting at 70 pounds.
Yeah.
It's as light as the newest bows. I haven't had to buy another bow. I don't have any desire to buy one.
I don't either.
And you won't, because when I helped him pick it out, the first thing when you want to get into archery, we start looking at price.
Yeah.
And we want to say cheapest as possible. And there's an old saying that runs around in the bushcraft: cry once.
Yeah.
Don't cry every time you got to go buy another one. And that's kind of like what we did with him.
Yeah.
I
spent more than I wanted to, but I think I got a good bow.
You got a very good bow. And it's fast. It's accurate.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was kind of surprised. I mean, it's just after a short period of time.
And the thing I was going to tell you a while ago, every archer that has been out of it for a long time or just starting, they have a 25-yard mental stance.
Well,
and they go straight to 25 yards. I don't care who it is.
He wanted me to start, 5 to 10 feet away from the target?
7 yards.
Man, 40 years ago, I was pretty good.
But the thing, whenever we went to 7 yards, how long did it take us before we was at 25?
I don't think we're ever going to find that arrow.
You're not. But at 7 yards, what that allows for is for you to hit the target and see
where you're at. Yeah.
And then you start adjusting your pins, and then when you work your way back to where you're comfortable.
Works. It works.
And
we should do a video on that.
Well, we can.
You weren't filming that either?
No.
We got to get a camera.
I'm going to be honest with you. All of my filming days have just. I'm out of stench. I got to get myself back together. But we did, and he got there within an hour. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, I was hitting the pretty good.
I think we got you back to 35, didn't we?
We were at 35 yards.
35 yards. And he was hitting the target, which is only about 18 by 18, maybe.
Bring your hands in a little bit. There you go.
Well, it's really about like this. But like he was hitting the target, but a lot of it was, and what I had told him, the muscles that you use for the bow, and I'm left-handed, he's right-handed, but the muscles you use for that are not something you use daily. Yeah. So you have to get that, and the little
I was surprised because my muscles, you were using different muscles. The next morning you wake up and say, I kind of feel it. I've never felt these before. Yeah,
and that's what happens. Yeah. But we got it, and we're out here, and we're going to get up in the morning after we eat about 2 o'clock.
Yeah. 2 o'clock. At night, we're going to starve. You're going to see about it. You're going to read about us in the paper. I told you.
But anyway, we're going to cut this video out. I could sit here and talk all day long, and we'll have our talk.
He did talk all day long. It's night.
We got here at 7 o'clock.
Dude, we got to eat, dude. Yeah. Come on. We got all this nice food.
Well, I mean, we got this nice Hawking Wolf knife right here. My personal.
I got one too. I got 2 of them.
And
one of them I bought. The other one he gave.
This is my personal.
That's a nice knife.
I made it just for my hand, and I use that thing for everything. But we're gonna get this food started. We're gonna get. I'm
gonna tell him about the green knife. He has got this sweet green knife. You got to put that on the. That thing is just very nice. I think that's one of his better works of art. I call them art. My little boy, I got one for his birthday. He made me a little stand and everything, so it just kind of sits there. But that green knife is sweet, dude.
I've done a lot.
Where'd you buy that thing?
I actually bought the Knowledge since 2009.
There you go.
But I never wanted to do a lot of the bolsters and camel bone and stuff. Yeah. I try to keep a lot of my knives in the more affordable range.
Yeah.
That one's more of an expensive type style knife, but I did enjoy making it. I think some of you guys may have seen it on some of the videos coming out, and I'm going to make about 20 of them.
That's a sweet knife, yeah.
In that model, and they're going to range around $295 to $345 with a small sheath, but they're hunting knives. They're based off of Bob Lovelace's design of a drop point hunter. I studied, God, I watched everything I could find on him, and I listened to him, and because Mike Stewart at Bark River Knives has helped me. God, I can't say how much he's helped me. I mean, he changed my whole outlook on making knives, and he mentioned Bob, and he mentioned Dozier and some of these other ones, and I sent him a picture of that, and on the Facebook when we were talking back, and the words that he used were something other. He says that is a perfect long guard Bob Lovelace style knife. He said he would be proud of you, and I'm proud of it too.
It's nice. It really is.
It's something that takes a little bit longer to do because I've never done that style and getting all of it to line up. But I think that's, the knife making for me has always been really.
Is that thing crawling in?
Nah, I ain't worried about it.
Ain't worried about it. Okay.
But
all the bug spray we got on us, I don't see how that's.
I don't see how anything is after all that stuff you spray. But to me, the knife making part of it is a craft.
It's a craft. It's an art. And once I'm sure you've seen it if you watch his videos. But I was so impressed with that. Very nice knife indeed. Worth every penny of the. He's not charging enough really.
And I get that all the time. But for me, I get more of a satisfaction out of knowing somebody has something.
Oh yeah.
Than I do. I mean, I suck at that part of business.
What part?
The selling part.
Selling part?
Yes.
Nah, I don't think so.
Now, if I was selling your stuff, man, I could sell the hound out of it. If it's somebody, but when it becomes mine, my work value is more personal than it is expense wise, I guess. But that's enough for the knife stuff. 'Cause I don't want to plug all that stuff in there. But
you keep going off on these tangents.
We
got to eat.
We don't have to eat. We want to eat.
I have to eat.
We don't even know what we're cooking yet. We got bell peppers, onions, and we've got...
We're going to put it in the pan? Well, here, I'll get the pan. Where's that?
I mean, I got the pan right there if you just want to cook it on that, or do you want to cook it on your little...
Let's just cook it on the stove thing there, though.
Well, I mean, I don't care. The fire is good.
Well, let's cook it over there, then.
I mean, this man wants to be an outdoorsman, but he has $40,000 worth of camping gear. This man could.
You're gonna get me in so much trouble. She's gonna
$400 worth of camping
there
stuff.
There you go, $400. That's it.
Dead serious. The last thing before I got to get off of here, and he's got to get out here and get him some.
We're gonna go on another tangent.
If this man got stranded, there's enough stuff. As long as he's got food, there is enough stuff in his car or
Amazon.
This man owns Amazon.
I got a stake in the company.
I guarantee
I'm preparing for Alaska.
He is preparing for Antarctica. I mean,
see the green machine in Antarctica.
There is everything in it. When we was out on our exploring adventure the other day, I wasn't worried. But the one thing that I did want was peanuts.
Well, you should have got your peanuts, dude.
I did. I sent you in to get the peanuts.
No, I walked in. I said, my bud wants some peanuts, the hot ones. She said, right there it is. I said,
and we ate boiled peanuts all the way to Dalton, Georgia.
They were good, though.
They were very good.
Yeah.
But when we got up here with nothing to eat, I was about ready to get them holes out.
I would have shared my sandwich.
You wouldn't have shared it. You would have lost it.
I did leave him with my sandwich for a few minutes, and I thought, well, there it goes.
Yeah. Hey, the whole time he was like shining a light on me and where he was going.
You can't have meat.
Yeah. We're going to start cooking here, and you'll see this on the different videos we're cooking. Kind of little snippets and stuff. But, guys, I appreciate you watching this long, lengthy video. I want to introduce you to Terrence. He's going to be in a lot more of the videos with me because it's much better as we start aging to have two people out here. I mean, it truly is. If you can get a buddy system when you go out, do it. If you're younger, go wild, go crazy. But
look, if you've got an older buddy and you can go out with them just to show them, that they can get out there and kind of take care of them, if they're older.
Put life back in them.
Yeah, put life back in them. Me, I'm a young dude.
He
I'm
is.
taking my older fellow, my buddy out. We're gonna have some. steak.
I mean, when you go on a pendulum from 100 to 0, technically he is younger at 56 to 100. He's
Who
on
said
that far
56?
end of it. I'm on this end a lot further up than he is.
You know what's sad?
What?
What's sad is I was opening a pickle jar. I pulled a muscle opening a pickle jar, dude.
I'm going to tell
I
you,
thought
my
myself,
mother-in-law, she's
Man, this ain't
65.
right.
And she said, "Mike, I can get these pickles open. It's exactly the same thing you said," because she was making a potato salad. I said, "Give it here." I took that thing out to my shop, and I got channel locks on. I couldn't get it open either. I was like, "What has happened to me?"
Probably. Of course, I didn't tell her it was open. Yeah, but holy crap, what'd I do? You got the pickles open? Yeah, I got them open. No problem.
But I will tell you one thing, and I'm going with it.
Yeah, you've been saying
Your
that.
gait. Get out and be active
yeah, get
as
out and be
much
active,
as
do
possible,
something. Yeah.
because your balance comes from how much stride you take.
Yeah.
And the more you walk, the more you do things that are a little bit off, the better your balance gets.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that in some other videos. But we're done.
We're
going
done.
to start
We're gonna
cooking.
eat.
This man is
Yeah,
already,
man.
I'm hearing foaming at the mouth now.
Yeah.
But we're going to put up what we got left here, because I don't think we're going to eat all that and that there too, are we? Well,
Maybe. You never know.
we're going to clean up, and he's going to eat his twice frozen.
No, I don't. Well, I'm going to pass on that.
I'm going to eat that good bread.
Good
But guys,
bread, yeah.
thank you for watching.
See you later.
Be looking more for Terrence coming
All
up.
right. See you, bud. All right.
Ooh, I think we got a good one.
It was lengthy, wasn't it?
Oh shit!
I'm sure you got.
We ain't even got it on.
Are you kidding me?
No.
No, you're kidding me, aren't you?
1 hour and